What's up, everybody? It's your boy Joel. And today we're about to get real serious, real fast. We're talking about something super important, freedom of religion. Now, you might think everyone has the right to believe what they want, right? Well, sadly, that's not always the case. In some parts of the world, just practicing your faith can put you in serious danger. We're talking imprisonment, persecution, even worse. So, buckle up, because we're about to take a look at the top 5 most dangerous places in the world for freedom of religion. Let's do it. Coming in at number 5 is a country shrouded in secrecy, a place that's practically a mystery to the outside world, North Korea. This isolated nation is known for its strict regime and tight control over its citizens' lives, and religion is no exception. In North Korea, there's only really one belief system that flies, the state-sanctioned ideology, which revolves around the Kim family. Anything else? You're playing with fire. You see, in North Korea, they're not too keen on letting people believe in something greater than the supreme leader. They see religion as a threat, a challenge to their authority, and they crack down on it hard. If you're caught practicing a religion that's not down with the Kim family program, you're looking at some serious consequences. We're talking imprisonment, hard labor, torture. It's a grim picture, guys. Now, it's not all doom and gloom. There are whispers, rumors of some small underground religious groups operating in North Korea. These brave souls risk everything to practice their faith in secret, away from the prying eyes of the state. Their stories are a testament to the enduring power of belief, even in the face of unimaginable oppression. It makes you think, doesn't it? What would you do for your faith? At number 4, we have a country that's been ravaged by conflict and instability for decades, Afghanistan. This war-torn nation has seen its fair share of suffering, and unfortunately, religious persecution remains a serious problem. While Afghanistan has a long and rich religious history, the current reality for many religious minorities is one of fear and oppression. The dominant religion in Afghanistan is Islam, and converting from Islam to another religion is, well, let's just say it's not something that's tolerated. In fact, it's actually considered a crime punishable by death. Imagine that for a second. Being killed simply for choosing to believe in something different. It's a terrifying thought. And it's not just about conversion. Religious minorities in Afghanistan often face discrimination, harassment, and violence just for existing. With the Taliban back in power, the situation for religious freedom in Afghanistan is more uncertain than ever. The Taliban's strict interpretation of Islamic law doesn't leave much room for tolerance or diversity of belief. Many Afghans who don't adhere to the Taliban's version of Islam are living in fear, wondering what the future holds. It's a heartbreaking situation, and it's a stark reminder that freedom of religion is a precious right that we can't take for granted. Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Joel. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the top 5 most dangerous places in the world for freedom of religion. And let me tell you, this list is heavy. We're not talking about places where you get a few funny looks for your beliefs. We're talking life or death situations. So at number 3, strap yourselves in because we're heading to the Horn of Africa, to a place riddled with conflict and chaos. Somalia. Imagine living in a country where just expressing your faith differently could land you in serious trouble. Somalia has been ravaged by civil war for decades, leaving the country with a weak central government and vast swaths of territory controlled by various militant groups. This lack of central control has made it a breeding ground for extremism, and unfortunately, religious minorities have become easy targets. Now, I'm all about spreading love and positivity, but the reality is, in Somalia, if you're not Muslim, you're basically public enemy number 1. It's a scary thought, right? Let's dig a little deeper into why Somalia is such a dangerous place for religious freedom. The roots of Somalia's turmoil can be traced back to the collapse of the central government in 1991. Since then, the country has been in a state of perpetual conflict. Millions of people have been displaced, and the humanitarian crisis has only worsened over the years. Extremist groups like Al-Shabaab have taken advantage of the chaos, imposing their own strict interpretations of Islam and targeting anyone who deviates from their beliefs. For religious minorities, practicing their faith often means doing so in secret, constantly living in fear of being discovered. Despite international efforts to stabilize the region, progress has been slow, and the situation remains dire for those seeking religious freedom. But amidst the darkness, there are stories of resilience and hope. Communities are coming together, and there are ongoing efforts to rebuild and bring peace to this troubled land. So while Somalia remains one of the most dangerous places for religious freedom, there is always hope for a brighter future. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, stay informed, and remember to spread love and understanding wherever you go. Peace out. One word: Al-Shabaab. These guys are basically the Somali version of ISIS, and they're infamous for their brutality. They want to turn Somalia into a strict Islamic state, and they're not afraid to use violence to get their way. Imagine living under a regime where you could be publicly executed for something as simple as converting to another religion. That's the reality for many Somalis. Al-Shabaab has been known to target, kidnap, and even kill people who don't conform to their extreme interpretation of Islam. Think about it. Churches and temples. Forget about it. Public displays of any faith other than Islam? You're putting your life on the line. It's a level of religious intolerance that's hard to even comprehend. And it's not just about physical safety. Imagine the psychological toll of living in constant fear, knowing that expressing your true self could have deadly consequences. It's heartbreaking, and it sheds light on the very real struggles faced by people in Somalia every single day. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This is heavy stuff. And trust me, it's even heavier when you realize it's not just happening in some far-off land. People are living this nightmare right now. But amidst all the chaos and fear, there are glimmers of hope. Brave individuals and groups within Somalia are risking their lives to promote tolerance and protect religious minorities. They're like the real-life heroes fighting for a better future. There are also international organizations working tirelessly to raise awareness about the situation in Somalia and provide humanitarian aid to those affected by the violence. They're the unsung heroes working behind the scenes to make a difference. Look, I'm just a guy who makes videos, but I truly believe that everyone deserves the right to practice their faith without fear of persecution. So let's use our voices to shine a light on these injustices and fight for a world where everyone can live in peace and harmony. Alright guys, we're on to number 2, and it's a tough one. We're talking about Pakistan. I know, Pakistan gets a bad rap sometimes, but this is serious stuff. It's not just about the headlines you see in the news. Imagine living every day afraid of saying the wrong thing, afraid of accidentally offending someone, because it could literally get you killed. It's a constant state of anxiety. That's the reality for many people in Pakistan, especially those who aren't Muslim. They have to navigate a society where their beliefs can make them targets. They have these laws called blasphemy laws, and let me tell you, they're intense. These laws are supposed to protect religious sentiments, but they often get misused. Basically, if someone accuses you of insulting Islam, even if it's not true, you can be in huge trouble. The accusation alone can ruin lives. We're talking imprisonment, violence, even death. It's heartbreaking, man. Families are torn apart and communities live in constant fear. People are living in fear just because of what they believe. They have to hide their religious symbols and practice their faith in secret. It's like you can't even have a conversation about religion without worrying that someone might take it the wrong way and boom, your life is in danger. The fear is palpable. It's a scary thought, right? Living in a place where your words can be twisted and used against you. And the worst part is, it's not just the government. The laws are there, but the societal pressure is immense. Sometimes it's your neighbors, people you see every day who might turn on you. The trust within communities is eroded. That's what makes it so terrifying. The fear isn't just from the authorities, but from the people around you. It's like, who can you trust? The sense of isolation is overwhelming and it affects every aspect of life. And guys, this isn't just some abstract thing, you know? This is something that affects real lives, real families, and real communities. It's not just a headline or a news story, it's a harsh reality for many. These laws have real consequences for real people. Imagine living in constant fear that a simple conversation could lead to your imprisonment or even worse. There was this one case, this Christian woman, Asia Bibi. Her story is a stark reminder of the dangers people face. She was just like having a normal conversation with some other women one day, talking about everyday things, nothing out of the ordinary, and somehow it turned into an argument about religion. It escalated so quickly, and before she knew it, she was in serious trouble. And get this, they accused her of insulting the Prophet Muhammad. Just imagine the shock and disbelief she must have felt at that moment. Can you believe that? Just for having a conversation? It's mind-boggling how something so innocent can be twisted into something so dangerous. They threw her in jail without a second thought, stripping her of her freedom and her dignity, and she was facing the death penalty. Yes, you heard that right. The death penalty for words spoken in a moment of heated discussion. The death penalty, over words. It's insane. It's hard to wrap your head around the severity of the punishment for something so trivial. Thankfully, after years in prison, she was finally acquitted and allowed to leave the country, but those years lost can never be returned to her. But the fact that she had to go through that in the first place is just, it's messed up, you know? It makes you question the fairness and humanity of such laws. It's like, where's the justice in that? How can we call ourselves just when such injustices are allowed to happen? This is why we're talking about this, guys. We need to raise awareness and spark conversations about these issues. We gotta shine a light on these injustices. We can't let them stay hidden in the shadows. We gotta stand up for what's right. It's our responsibility to fight for justice and equality. Everyone deserves the freedom to believe what they want, without fearing for their lives. It's a basic human right that we must protect for everyone, everywhere. So what can we do about it? That's the million-dollar question, right? Well, for starters, we gotta talk about it. Share this video, tell your friends. The more people who know about what's going on, the better. We need to put pressure on Pakistan to change these laws, to protect religious freedom for everyone. And, you know me, I love a good challenge. So here's what I'm thinking. For every comment on this video, I'm going to donate $1 to organizations fighting for religious freedom in Pakistan. Let's hit them with a wave of support they won't forget. And hey, even if you can't donate, that's okay. Just spreading the word is huge. Let's show the world that we care about religious freedom, that we won't stay silent while people are being persecuted. We can make a difference, guys. I know it. Okay, we've reached the #1 spot, and it's a big one. We're talking about Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia is considered the birthplace of Islam, a place that holds immense religious significance for millions around the world. But here's the thing, guys. While Saudi Arabia promotes itself as a guardian of Islam, the reality for those who don't practice the official version of the religion is pretty grim. We're talking about a country where every aspect of life is governed by a strict interpretation of Islamic law, often referred to as Sharia law. And when I say strict, I mean strict. We're not just talking about dietary restrictions or dress codes here. We're talking about serious limitations on freedom of belief and expression. Imagine this. You can't openly practice any religion other than Islam in Saudi Arabia. It's literally against the law. No churches, no temples, no synagogues. Can you imagine that? Being told that you can't even gather to pray with your community? And the punishments for breaking these laws? Let's just say they're not messing around. We're talking imprisonment, floggings, and in some cases, even the death penalty. It's heavy stuff. There have been countless reports of people being arrested, detained, even tortured for simply practicing their faith in private. Imagine the fear of even having a Bible in your own home. It's like living under a microscope, constantly afraid of being watched, judged, and punished for your beliefs. And it's not just about other religions. Even within Islam, there are different branches and interpretations. And guess what? Saudi Arabia has a very specific and rigid definition of what it considers true Islam. If you're Shia Muslim, for example, you face discrimination and marginalization. You're considered a second-class citizen in your own country. Just imagine how messed up that is. This is why we can't stay silent. We have to speak up for the millions of people living in Saudi Arabia who are denied the fundamental right to practice their faith freely and openly. We need to call on Saudi Arabia to reform its laws, to uphold the principles of religious freedom that are supposed to be universal. We need to demand that they end the persecution and discrimination against religious minorities. And you know what? It's not just up to governments and organizations, it's up to us too. Every single one of us has a voice and we can use it to make a difference. Share this video, talk to your friends and family, write to your elected officials. Let's shine a light on this issue and demand change. Because everyone, everywhere, deserves the right to believe what they want, to practice their faith without fear, and to live in a world where freedom of religion is a reality, not just an empty promise. Wow guys, that was heavy. We've covered some serious ground today, and I know it can be overwhelming to hear about all the injustice in the world. But here's the thing, awareness is the first step towards change. If this video opened your eyes to the realities of religious persecution, then we've already accomplished something huge. But let's not stop there, let's turn this awareness into action. Hit that like button, share this video with everyone you know, and let's get this conversation started. And hey, for every new subscriber we get in the next 24 hours, I'm going to donate $1 to organizations fighting for religious freedom around the world. Let's make a real difference together. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.